Let's just start off in the present. You guys have been touring rather extensively the last few months. Last couple of years, for me anyway, watching you guys, is you seem to have been a lot more active and busy as your popularity has risen. I know you put out a couple records last year. I'm wondering, though, if the activity that seems to be coming out of the two of you for the last couple of years was really purposeful in pursuing that sort of musical dream, or just the result of supporting the albums. And I know you guys have been around a while. It just seems like the last couple of years you've been a lot more visible and active. So is that intentional, or is it just a byproduct of promoting albums?
It's certainly intentional. This has sort of been a real growth year for us as a band. Adam and I have played music together most of our adult lives, but not in this particular ensemble. And this band kind of came together after we put out a record called Close Harmony. And another band that I had been working with kind of unraveled all at once, and so we found ourselves ready to make some music together again, and so we put this band together in May of last year. So it's been a year and a half, something like that. And this last year was a real big growth year for us to get outside of our. This last year, I'm talking like it's over. It's not over yet. It's not New Year's yet.
It's almost Thanksgiving, which means it's almost Christmas, which means it's almost New Year. We've just dated the entire recording now. Everybody knows exactly what time it is.
So it's been a real growth year, and we've gotten to make some music outside of our hometown, which is really fun. And it's sort of a necessity if you want to make your music more relevant, and make it a little more sustainable. To keep coming back, you can come back to a different audience instead of coming back to the same 200 people in Louisville.
Another thing that coincided with that kind of that reboot and starting up this band in this particular configuration with these guys was coming out of COVID-19. I had a daughter that was born right before COVID, and I was kind of like, ooh, I need to take a little backseat for a little while, and Aaron explored some other options, and then the timing worked out really well to hit that reset button, and we came back together, and it was magical on this Close Harmony record that I've been wanting to do for probably about a decade, and we finally got this thing out there, and it was just a good moment to come back together and join forces.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'll ask a little bit more about that album and then the live album here in a minute, but I know you guys have trickled out 2 new singles recently. We heard Walking on Water coming back from the break, but there was also Sleep 1,000 Years not long ago. Does that signal maybe a new album in the works, or no?
It does.
Very good.
It does. The new album is almost done. I think new, projects like this are always almost done until you got them out.
And man, it's a good one. And I say it's good because we've got some other guests joining us at various parts of the project, and it's really exciting stuff.
That's awesome. So, well, we can't wait, and we'll certainly keep everybody updated on that. All right, let's talk about the albums that have already been released. You released 2 last year, a live album, and then, as you mentioned,
one of them right here.
There you go. And Close Harmony, obviously, the one that Adam mentioned a minute ago. I really love the Close Harmony album because, obviously, I think it sort of intentionally focuses on harmony. But if I'm not mistaken, your first album was 2011 or something like that. Take us through the history a little and why there was such a layoff between one and the other set.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of life changes since then. Like I said, it's a long time ago. But this band has evolved a few different times. Adam and I started playing music together when we were young adults in a band called Relic. And that was our local. We played on the same corner here in Louisville for 10 years worth of Wednesday nights. And,
closer to 15. Closer to 15 than 10.
And we earned our... Well, we played together with Relic for almost 20 years to get total, but we did 10 years of a standing residency thing in Louisville for a long while. And during that time, I had written some songs that I didn't feel like we were going to do as a band. And so that 2011 album is a function of the fact that we wanted to make some music outside of the regular repertoire we were playing with our band. And that eventually included enough studio musicians to not be a band record at the time. And so it was the initiation of the Bibelhauser Brothers as an ensemble, as a recording artist.
And one of the cool things about that record other than the fact that it was released on 11/11/11, I think we missed a prime opportunity to do one on February 2nd, 2022, but we missed that opportunity. The cool thing besides that is Steve Cooley, who's now in our band and played on these two records that we're talking, the most recent ones and the one that's coming up. He really produced that record and really recorded and engineered with
that
us.
2011 record.
The
was
2011
yeah.
one. And Jeff played the fiddle on it, and Jeff's brother Ivan played the dobro on it. So it was a lot of fun. And so it's kind of, we hit the reset button and we got a new thing, but we kind of grabbed the best of what we already knew. Which was cool.
Yeah.
So.
In the meantime, though, in between those two, we had another version of this band that was sort of a country rock ensemble, and the stuff is out there, and it's all listed under the Bibelhauser Brothers band, all three words. But that stuff was just so different musically and sonically than from this that we decided to maintain the Bibelhauser Brothers brand as sort of the bluegrass arm of things.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens next. But like I said, I worked with a few different bands during that interim in between those two records. This was really just Adam and I coming back together and singing songs, recording songs that we had been singing together. The Close Harmony record is almost all brother duet style songs that are, covers from days gone by. And the ones that aren't, we've kind of made them into those, into brother duets. But the most notably, like When I Stopped Dreaming from the Louvin Brothers catalog, and The Banks of the Rio Grande from the Delmore Brothers.
What would you give in exchange for yourself?
Yeah, the Monroe Brothers, the Stanley Brothers, Jim and Jesse McReynolds are all sort of represented.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys, including the Osborne Brothers and the Dillards, who are not featured on this record, but all those brother duet groups had such a big impact on us. We wanted to, share our own interpretations of some of those songs. And that's what the record Close Harmony was all about.